Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 35th episode of Kouryer Podcast. Today, I'm joined with Maja Vavpotic. She's a concept artist, mostly focusing on character design from Ljubljana, Slovenia. And with that out of the way, could you give us a little introduction on how we got into visual arts and design?
Yeah. Hey. And okay, where to start? So I drew a lot as a kid. I was very creative. If I didn't draw, I had like a paper in my hand and I was folding origami and stuff like that. And soon my dad saw that there's something there, and I still remember that trip to the art store where he just bought me everything, like from colored pencil to acrylics. And then that was just, I had no knowledge of whatever design principles. I just remember I drew a lot of random patterns. And then how I continued, I went to school for multimedia, and that's where there wasn't particularly a class about drawing. There was just I don't know, the basics. And I started focusing more on graphic design. And basically, I went to college for graphic design and graduated. But in in I was privileged enough that my parents supported me through to go to an artistic way, and they just didn't care if there is maybe less jobs in the market or stuff like that. And they when we went to see which colleges are as an option, they really wanted to give me the best. So I chose a private college that because in Slovenia the colleges are free, and this one is private. It's you pay for the whole fee, and basically what's the difference? They push to have more practical education instead of just learning from the books. They hire the teachers who are actually working in the industry to help you. And so, yeah, basically that's the difference. And I got to go to that college, and there I studied graphic design and I graduated. But after about a year, I attended it was like a tiny conference, like a 1 day conference where I saw now he's a friend, but I saw him do a demo of I don't know some character live demo in front of us, and that's where I was like, mind blown. I saw that people actually draw these. I didn't connect it before, and since then I just picked up my tablet, which I owned, and just kept drawing every day until I started mastering it and started studying the theory behind it. That was like while I was still studying graphic design, I just slowly started to study illustration on the side. And then because this college, I had a lot of, you had to do like 2 years of, I don't know, I think it was 4 months of internship at a company. And I think the last year, I got an internship at a local game company that is actually pretty big, and they have a lot of artists there. And because they give me this chance, I I got a lot of mentorship. They brought me up a bit. So from the internship, it developed into the full-time job, and I was there for 2.5 years. Then slowly I shifted to. I was for half a year at another company that does children's illustrations, and then now this was all last year that I quit my job at the mobile game company, and then I went to the publishing company, and then I quit that job also, and because I wanted to focus on myself. I think I was just a bit overworked, and now I'm just studying and doing personal art and commissions, whatever comes. Basically,
Interesting.
that's how I got in, and the timeline
Mm.
that kind of happened.
All right, awesome. I mean, you already mentioned that you were studying graphic design in university, but was that the original plan to study art and design, or you were pursuing another career path, or something else was going on?
Um, yes, that's what I mean. From high school, I knew I wanted to go to graphic design because that was the thing I think that was most close to illustration for me. Because the reason I didn't choose illustration before is because my parents didn't I mean, they didn't want me to go to Ljubljana for high school yet. So I just chose the closest school, which was like 20 kilometers away from my hometown, and went there so I could return home. If I would go to Ljubljana, I would have to move there and be there all week. And they were like, no, not yet. So I didn't actually take it as an option. But then later, everything just kept falling towards illustration. Yeah.
All right, and I mean, you already mentioned that you're doing illustration now and you study graphic design, but right now, what is your main branch of design that you're focusing on? And tell us about your experience from the start of it until now.
So I think you mean I'm doing now mostly illustrations. It's character work, and also I'm pushing also towards a bit more, not just characters, like visual design, mostly visual development, where I incorporate storytelling. So I want to eventually go into painting moods and um, characters, putting them in environments to tell stories, maybe animation work and stuff like that. Well, basically, right now I'm just exploring as much as I can, searching different art styles, studying, like seeing how much I can grow, like in this. I don't know. I gave myself a year that I will just not have any serious clients or something. Just work to be happy.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
good plan.
yeah. It's really fun so far.
All right. And how does your design process usually go anytime you want to start working on a project or any plans of illustration you have?
So mostly it starts with an idea.
Hmm.
I often just brainstorm either like with a mind map, or or it starts with a sketch of a character that has like emotion. I just feel it, and then I add to it, or maybe I think of a story, or it's something that I experienced in real life, and I really want to portray it in a, I don't know, more extreme way. It starts with that, and then it goes to sketching, a bunch of sketches, and then from there to exploring colors, and sticking to what I like and what I want to learn. A lot of times I don't even choose what I like the best, but maybe what I will learn most from. Uh, because, yeah, maybe something I could talk about is I worked in studios for so long. I didn't have so much time for personal art that now, so I was basically just doing what others told me to do. And now I just want to explore whatever I haven't done yet, and how can I grow by doing those things. Yeah.
All right. And yeah, I mean, that makes sense pretty much. And my next question is like, I want to actually talk about some of your artworks and the stuff you did. You know, I always go through, do a background check of every guest that comes on, whether they have ArtStation profiles or, of course, their Instagram profiles. Um, I do go through their stuff to see any interesting stories that might be there. And one of them, um, is that sound from my microphone? There were like 2, 3 loud sounds for a second. Oh, sorry, never mind.
Sorry.
Um, no, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, one of them is that you designed the T-shirt for this year's Global Game Jam. So tell us, how did the opportunity come by, and what was your idea behind the design? Basically, anything you could share with us.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So this was actually I'm working with Games Slovenia, which is a local like organization where we try to promote game development, and we also organize a conference each year, uh, and basically we are all volunteers, and my friend just asked me if I want to make the t-shirt. There will be a t-shirt and there will be a poster, and I was super excited, and I just made something. um, it was I was working on New Year's Day. No, but I just I have a bunch of sketches. Can I share something? Because I did
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. If you want, you can take your time right now. I mean, it's fine. If you
Because
want to
I
find
did like,
anything.
but can I screen share?
No, I don't think here. But if you have the T-shirt, you can bring it up and show it if you want. If you want to show the illustration.
Uh, I don't think I have it with
All right,
me.
it's fine.
But no, I wanted actually. Maybe you can put
All
it
right.
in the
Yes, yes.
description.
No, 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 not
Um,
description. All right. Here's the thing. You can send me the file, and I can edit it in the video we're going to talk about. All right.
okay,
All right. So
I
if
will just send a bunch of sketches that I actually did and mind maps, because for this
Mhm,
I actually did a talk also.
mhm,
Not just the t-shirt, but we had like a whole week of speakers, and I did a live drawing demo, and you can also include a link to that talk, because I actually talk about brainstorming, and I have included a mind map and my first rough sketches, and then I think sketches from my sketchbook, and there's just a million of them, and then how I got to the final stage.
mhm,
But basically, what I did a mind map, and I just wrote down everything I think of when I attended game jams,
mhm.
and there's just a lot of stuff, and that's how I came to this idea.
All right. I
Um,
have an idea. How many sketches are there? How many files are there?
I don't know. I think there's. I can check.
Yeah, sure. Because
Uh,
I have a cool idea.
okay. So wait. Slides. I'm just gonna go find it.
No problem.
Uh, uh, okay. So I have like, what is that? 10 pictures, and then a mind map. So 11.
All right. So here's the thing. Could you please do something for me? Point your
Yeah.
hand like this, so it will show the bottom right of the screen.
But I
No, no,
can
no.
see myself.
All right, just point to like your left side, but down. No, yes, but point it. Yes, but point it up. Point it downward. Point it. No. Do the same thing. No, the other way. Yes. Here now you'll see it in editing. Now it's 15 minutes and 15 seconds. From 13-minute mark to 16-minute mark, I'm gonna put like a time lapse of those sketches. So yeah, you can check it here. Yeah. It kind of sounds cheesy.
So I say this.
No, it's fine. No, I just
Okay.
sorry, it was
All
silly.
the best.
Yeah, I was trying to do something new.
No, it's fine.
Because the format of the YouTube and the video version is like I'm in the bottom and you're on the top, and when you point over here and I point over here, it's just we both point at the same thing. Because in every video episode, I have a time lapse of every artist's work, and from the time points, I said I'm just gonna put the time lapse of those sketches we talked about. Sorry,
Okay.
that was a bit cringy by me. Sorry, everyone.
No, it's fine. Come on.
I'm trying to evolve. I don't want to be the same thing every episode. All right, it's fine.
That's good.
All right. So, next question: who are your favorite artists and designers that have inspired you the most?
Okay, yeah, I've thought about this, and it's really hard for me to answer this like with specific names. So maybe I can talk about what actually drives me, and it's a lot from cinema to comic books to animations, and what I'm most inspired by is the storytelling and how the like studios and artists come together with how it comes together with visual development. So maybe I can talk with so I really like Steven Universe, and I love like the whole story behind it. I have the book, and I read like the things that the production has done, and Rebecca Sugar and her brother, and her, how it's all connected. And then maybe I love the Ghibli movies from Studio Ghibli. And I love reading about how it was made and where they took inspirations, because, for example, the girl from Spirited Away, she was based on a real girl, and they just observed, how they move, and it's so subtle. And I love Tonko House, which is also a production company, and they made the Dam Keeper, and the lighting work there is beautiful. I love animations like Hilda and Adventure Time, or comic books like Hellboy from Mike Mignola, and maybe I love the work Nathan Fawkes does. I I love to listen to him. He has such a nice voice. And then maybe if I think of some traditional painters, uh, it would be Leyendecker and Sargent. Yeah. But I love to just like read about how these artists worked and how they studied in the times that it was much tougher. For example, there's a thing. I think it's Sargent who like put his paintbrush on a stick and painted like 2 meters away because he didn't have the zoom out that painters today have because I just open a small window in
You
another
just
screen.
press Z and the magnifying glass just.
Yeah. Or I saw one from Picasso. He wanted to paint a water image from a city from water, and he like did like a whole setup on this wooden boat. Uh, tiny wooden boat, and he had like his canvas and paints on the side, and he was in the water painting. Like
Now you can just have an iPad with Procreate and it
yeah,
makes.
yeah. So yeah, I think
Interesting.
that's it.
All right. Um, what is the main subject of your artworks and what made them interesting to you?
Um, I think it's people. It's usually some experience that happened to me, and yeah, I just often I choose a simpler a character with simpler proportions, and I mean I used to overcomplicate when I was a beginner, but now slowly I'm choosing simpler characters to convey a story or a feeling or something that or maybe a mood, and something that is not like every day or maybe I felt and I want to make the audience feel as well. I think this
All right. And do you have a favorite artwork in particular?
of mine.
Yes.
Oh, maybe because it also took a damn long time, but you know the one that there are two little girls driving in a car.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
saw that one.
that one is based on me and my sister driving to the seaside, and I actually did it in a course, and I started it in March and then forgot about it, and I finished it in around November. So
All right, and let's see. All right, what technologies and softwares do you mostly use for your works? Like, do you use a particular tablet or device, or and also what softwares?
so I have a Windows computer, and I have I don't know if you can see it. This is a Cintiq, 27
Oh,
inch.
nice. Yeah, we can see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the Cintiq is what I prefer to work on.
Mm-hmm.
I when I started out, I used the iPad a lot because I I went to this conference pretty early on when I started drawing in Poland, and the Procreate team was there, and they showed me the software, and I was just like, when I came home, I bought the thing, and I couldn't let it down for I don't know 2 years, and then when I got a Cintiq at the company I worked at, then I just got used to that. But I think if I because in the future maybe I would like to travel while I freelance. I think I could get used to my Intuos tablet. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it would be that big of a switch. Maybe
Uh, I'm sorry, you mean Cintiq or Intuos? Because I think Intuos ones are those just pen tablets ones, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken.
yeah. I mean, if I cannot if I will want to travel around, I will have
Oh,
to.
mhm,
It doesn't
yeah.
make any sense to because there is one Cintiq that you can carry around, but it's heavy,
Mm.
really heavy, and I don't think I would want
And
to do that.
usually devices like that, you have to buy an extra, a special bag for them. So in travel or traveling,
Mhm.
like the shock from like moving around doesn't hurt the device. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's the big downside to Cintiq. Like Cintiq, I mean the one, especially the model that's in front of you, is a beast of a device.
yeah.
And
It's also 50 kilos heavy.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. It
I
is. The stand itself is, I think, 30 or something. I don't know. It's insane. When I moved, I had friends helping me carry it.
and actually I interviewed a lot of artists, and most of them prefer Procreate and iPad. And I had this drawing teacher on my podcast, and he said he prefers like iPad and Procreate because when he has a seminar or have a conference somewhere, he can just put the thing in his bag, and it's so easy to carry around for traveling and all that. I can't like carry like this huge Cintiq, with me
True,
everywhere.
true.
And honestly, the stuff, even the default brushes and the art style that usually the tools that Procreate offers, I personally find them really attractive. So I mean, yeah, personally, if I could one day, buy whether Cintiq or iPad Procreate, I would definitely go for iPad. Not a sponsor. And
Yet.
I mean, of course, I mean it's free to sponsor if you want. Yeah, come here, man. Like,
Come on, Apple. Procreate.
yeah. And what softwares do you use? You said.
uh, the Photoshop, and on iPad I also use Procreate, but iPad I don't use that much, not for professional stuff. I think what you were talking about, I just have to either completely switch, or I will have to get used to the feeling on the iPad, because there's just that one thing that's off, and I just get cranky and I don't want to deal with it, and I go to my computer and work on the same thing. I think it's just like pushing over that, and it will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's always this thing with every, not just necessarily in even drawing and art, like in every craft, like you get used to a certain tool, and sometimes it's hard to like switch to the counterpart or stuff. Like even in programming, people just get used to an interface that they code a lot of time, and they don't switch to other interfacing. It's the same thing. But yeah, and any advice and tips for a good portfolio and resume for artists?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm one to talk. No, but I'm just starting to build, like the portfolio I always wanted.
Mhm.
So maybe just in the beginning, I know it's annoying, but fundamentals are important. But you can have fun with the fundamentals. You don't need to go like me, stubborn, and draw 500 boxes. You can, like, I don't know, draw 500 boxes that form I don't know, a mountain that makes an environment or something. And there's so many exercises that you can try, that makes studying in the beginning easier. And maybe yeah, observe, a lot of observing, think more, and do smarter moves, like don't just go and draw 500 boxes, maybe draw 50, but really, really think about what you're doing, or study other artists, but maybe study for a reason. For example, when I mentioned J.C. Leyendecker before, what he did, uh, he before he started a full piece, he thought about what pieces, so what is going to be in his image. And for example, if it's a little boy and he's wearing like specific type of shoes, he would find those shoes and just study how those shoes are formed, what are the materials, and when he went to his final illustrations, he could sketch them like it wasn't a problem. So, like, think a lot about what you're trying to do. What else? Maybe try to focus, try to make a plan before you start working. Like, what is your goal? Because uh, myself personally, my mind goes everywhere. I'm often like distracted and overwhelmed by the amount of information on the internet, and so many. When I try to learn and think of who I could choose to be my mentor for something. I don't know, this course or that course. There's just so much today. And so maybe take more time to really set a plan either for today or what you will do this week. So you really, and in the end, like if you set a goal for a week, in the end you will achieve that. You will have like a box to check off, and you will really focus on that and not get distracted and start drawing dinosaurs in a corner somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
All right. And what are you working on right now that you can tell us about? What kind of project is it? Of course, I mean, if it's something that there's an NDA involved, I mean, we can skip this question right now. But if that's not the case, what kind of project you're working on right now?
Okay. No, there's no NDAs. Actually, I'm just doing. I started doing the schoolism course by. I mean, I actually started continuing it because I did 4 weeks of it like a year ago and or 2 years ago. I don't remember. And now I want to continue. It's the Color and Light by Dice Tutsumi. It's by Tonko House. I'm not sure what it's. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
Color and Light tourism. Yeah, painting with color and light. Color course. Yeah, painting with light and color course. Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Um, I want to challenge myself to do to get, because now it's the fun part, getting into colors. Um, and mostly I'm just I got like a commission to do some animals for a game that someone is making. They have a lo-fi background, like the girl
Mm-hmm.
drawing something, and I have to paint animals, and it's like completely just line art, which I was really like a year ago. I was so like in doubt, and I hated sketching because I just couldn't, get the feeling down that I wanted. And I really noticed that I started studying this, and I'm getting much better at line art. And basically, what I'm doing now is just a lot of sketches and trying to do, getting to the final piece as fast as possible. So everything is much more rough and sketchy, and I'm really starting to like that part. Um, but other than that, like there's some commissions, I don't know, someone wants portraits or yeah, stuff like that. Nothing big. I actually did advertisement for Lidl. The I don't know, here it's huge, super. The store, it's a company, Lidl.
No, I don't know. Sorry.
It's like one of those big supermarket companies,
All
and
right.
they wanted me to make a character design of a current, which is a local mythical creature that is supposed to scare away spring. You can also point it. I will send
All right.
the image, and you can put it there.
All right.
Uh, and yeah, that's about it. Just personal stuff and some smaller commissions.
All right. And what area beside that you're working on right now are you interested to explore and learn in the future? Like,
That's a good question.
imagine if you had a lot of free time right now and you didn't have to worry about anything. I mean, it's a hypothetical question, of course. I mean, there's always things to worry about. But if that was the case, what area or craft? Or here's the thing: it doesn't need even have to be learning a craft. What would you do if you had a lot of free time, aside from what you're doing, of course, right?
um, So I would go for animation. So learning to animate. This is still the plan I want to eventually. Um, and also I want to learn some basics of Blender. So maybe I could help myself with making compositions for my art. Um, but in the end, I think I would prefer to like traditional hand draw animation. So I could start moving my characters and making line arts and stuff like that. Um, I don't know. Yeah, probably that.
All right, awesome. And with all that being said and done, to conclude all we discussed in this episode, could you please give us a roadmap for someone who is zero in visual arts and wants to get to the place you are in terms of skill set, like everything that could come in your mind, like from a
Mhm.
step one to the final step. Um, the ball's in your court.
Okay. Uh, good question. Okay, so I think definitely when I started from like knowing no theory, I recommend figure drawing from life. I recommend going out and sketching random stuff you like observing, like look at because every artist that goes into I don't know the old part of the town will see a different thing that they like and that it inspires them if you give them a choice to sketch it. Um, so basically that um, it also applies to everything else, like just find what makes you happy, because I know um, if I have like a really good idea, it's just like adrenaline through my veins, and I'm just like, oh my god, I need to do this, it's just so much easier to work when you find this stuff. um, and sketching really helps to give emotion to anything that will evolve to something else. And then because I do a lot of painting, I would recommend the course I took to start really understanding light and how it comes. I think it's Fundamentals of Lighting by Sam Nielsen. Um,
Who?
Sam Nielsen. It's on
All right.
Schoolism. Um, I can also send you these links.
It's fine. It's fine. I got it. Fundamentals of Lighting by Sam Newson on schoolism.com.
Yeah,
Right. All
yeah.
right.
Um,
And
he basically just goes through I don't know how to determine where light comes from, how to determine materials. It makes a difference, and I don't know how to paint things that from different angles and I don't know everything. I remember like taking that course. Like I made a huge jump in progress. Um, I would also suggest patience because because these things really take time. And I remember how excited I was. I was working all the time, and I was just like, how when am I like overwhelmed? I was always overwhelmed because I was so excited. Um, then I don't know, like this is basically just me teaching myself how to do this, and I like a visual development course, the one that I'm taking, the Tonko House one, that one is quite amazing. Actually, like just go to Schoolism. There's just I don't know why there's so many professional teachers there, and they really know how to like guide you. Um, yeah, I think so. Sketching, then color and light, starting from the basics, and then
Mhm.
going to bigger things like visual development. Um, and also maybe some character design, and but all of this comes from observing, and you just learn. I don't know, today you learn how to draw this, tomorrow how to draw another thing.
Mhm.
Just constantly observing and learning from that. Yeah.
All right. All right. And well, we reached the end of the episode. Thank you so much for
uh,
coming by. Where can people contact you if they had any questions or anything?
they can just write to me on Instagram,
Hmm.
or ArtStation. Yeah, Instagram ArtStation.
All
I think
right.
on ArtStation they can find my email if it's important.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank
You're
you for everyone
welcome.
who's tuned in. I hope you enjoyed this episode and see you guys in the next episode. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.